right. Should be up and running here shortly. Yeah, it looks like both streams should be up and running now. All right. We'll be going over the cues, going over today's plays, and talk about what to look forward to this week. Looks like the Bolt, which we just trailed out of, is going to make new lows here, but that's fine. All right, so that's the closing bell here. Let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for December 6th, 2021. SPY up 1.15, IWM up almost 2, and then Qs up 0.8. All right, coming into today, we noted that the hourly sell setup on the Qs, SPY, and IWM, they all had the same hourly pattern, all followed through and got to the target and beyond. Okay, so what we were talking about on Friday is we'll be watching for Monday, maybe in the afternoon at the earliest. We will get an hourly sell setup potentially. What I said on Friday also would be the easiest scenario, at least for the Monday morning bias, would be if we gap down. If we gap down or get sold hard, then we would be looking to be bullish for the morning to see how much of a bounce we get, because we are pulling into a weekly buy setup. Okay, so the larger time frames are starting to find support, and that's a result of the long-term uptrend we've been in all year. So what did we do today is that we really didn't do too much in the morning, and then you can see a little bit of back and forth here to start things off, and then we started to grind higher. Okay, so because of that early morning back and forth, we just triggered the hourly sell setup at the end of the day here, the final hour. So Qs, SPY now a little bit more of a double top, okay, on the SPY and the IWM. So for tomorrow, today's high is the line in the sand. Today's high is the pivot that we're going to use. If we take that out, no longer bearish. So we're going to go into tomorrow morning bearish, unless we take out tomorrow's high. The only other thing we need to really watch out for is if we, let's say we either gap up or we run up, take it out, and then we come right back down, then stay bearish, even though that top got taken out, means it just kind of tried to break out and failed. Okay, then we'll stay bearish. Now, if it takes it out and it stays sideways or continues to move up, the next buy setup, next breakout, we will be looking to be bullish. Okay, we've had a pullback into support. IWM's pullback is the most damaging of the bunch. Qs, SPY, they have the weekly buy setup in place. Okay, there it is. Qs, or there's the SPY. There it is on the Qs. Okay, so we are going to remain bearish, but if we take out today's high, then we will shift to neutral and wait for that next buy setup. Okay, all right, today's plays. This morning, pretty abysmal gaps list. So I said we were probably going to be focusing on scalps right at the open. VBIV had some opportunities. I did not do a good job of managing this VBIV. I think I only was able to get a couple cents out at a time because I was worried that it was going to flip. But man, look at that follow through. So this one was one that I said we can to play right under 233. Got in, gave a couple cents right away, and then I jumped out thinking it was going to flip, and then very nice follow through. Try to also play it long, only gave a couple cents that time. That one I managed it fine, but of course that's the one that didn't really have much to take from. So that was the start, was the VBIV. That was the morning. And there were definitely some other things. ZS was really nice. It was a little bit later into the morning. James gave you numbers for this. The ZS, nice base right here. Okay, on the ZS. Let's take a look at the daily on this. Okay, continuation pattern here. 1, 2, 3, and then following through more on the ZS. Here was the VBIV. VBIV daily, I wasn't really warmed up for. I wasn't thinking, okay, VBIV, play this aggressively. It was more just because level 2 looked good. And then after the morning, really, the VBIV level 2 got really tricky. And that is something we've seen on Thursday and Friday as well. Okay, Thursday and Friday. Some of the morning plays, the level 2s are good, the plays are good. Into the afternoon, a little bit less. All right, so you know, we try to play them. The afternoon plays haven't really been hurting. So that's the good thing. They haven't been hurting, but they're not really all that rewarding, to be honest. Now, we played this breakdown here. I'll show you here. So, this may look nice. I think if you especially look at it on the 5, say, oh, well, what a nice short. But yeah, I don't know. It was like it gave about an R. And then getting fill, I couldn't get filled full on this, so that also ate into it not being a full R. So yeah, the Bolt, I think it was last week, had that LDI, very similar play, very similar kind of play into the afternoon. You can see a little bit of a gap and a breakdown, and then played this short here, and then closed it end of the day as well. Just for, I don't know, I think this was even less than an R. Okay, so Bolt. If I had this at the Open as a short, if I had it on my gaps list, I definitely would have played it, or at least tried to play it. It's just one that I found after the Open a little bit later. And sometimes, yeah, when I'm doing the Open, I'm a little bit slower to get the other scanning done and find the extra gaps. So, it's possible, even if I wasn't doing the Open, I would have still, not seen this in time. But, that really would have been nice to catch at the Open instead of, look at the play that we got and then, look at all that we missed out on. And because it sold off so hard, I was waiting for this, and then finally the 20 MA caught up. This is what we call a late day breakdown. It has nothing to do with the time per se. It doesn't have to be a certain time of day or a certain hour on the clock. It's just once the 15-minute catches up, so it's on something that typically got sold a lot at the Open or gapped down at the Open, and then the 20 MA on the 15 has been just trying to catch up, and then finally when it catches up, then we're looking for that play lower, okay? And then we just play that breakdown. That's what we call late day breakdown. It has to do with the 15-minute 20 MA catching up. So it could happen, at a 2 o'clock, could happen at 3 o'clock. It's usually just in the afternoon sometime. We're really focused on that 20 MA. Okay, so yeah, it's a standard play. It's just that like we've seen lately, that sometimes the follow through in the afternoon is small, but as long as it's something, it's still worth doing, right? All right. So that's pretty much it for today. Not a lot. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more going here into the rest of the week. Mondays have been pretty slow last few weeks, so not too big of a problem, I think. All right, we'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you in the afternoon. Have a good rest of the day.